Are you ready to start a daycare business today? If so, I have a lot to share with you and a couple of new regulations. My name is Miss Tamiko. I am a licensed child care provider in California. I have a degree in early childhood education, and during that time when I was studying for that degree, I worked in a lot of after school programs, nurseries, Head Starts, summer camp programs. And the reason why I wanted that degree in early childhood education was because I wanted to be a PE teacher. And I wanted to be a PE teacher because I had such a big influence from PE instructors who would come to do different programs at the elementary school that I was attending. And they would have different programs, like one that I can remember was jumping, like a jump rope competition, and everybody got to choose their color jump rope, and we were jump the highest, the longest, run the furthest, climb the highest, and my team would always be on that platform every time and getting a medal. So I don't know why that impacted me so much, and that's what I wanted to do. But long live that. I ended up getting hired with Delta Airlines, and I thought for sure that was going to be my job, my career job, with packed benefits, flying first class. I thought for sure that I was winning, until one day they decided to have their very first ever layoff, and my name came up on that list. So I ended up falling back into childcare and deciding which way I wanted to go. I had this one friend who worked in childcare. A lot of friends of mine worked at different childcares, worked in after school programs, had their own businesses. But this one friend, she was a licensed child care provider, and she convinced me that that she would help me, get licensed, because I own my own home. And she said it'd be really, very easy. We always think that our homes are, oh, this is not ready. Oh, that's not ready. That is just, just horrible. But let me tell you, this friend, OG provider, she made magic happen. She held my hand, step by step, answered all my questions, took me down to the local agency, picked up my package, late nights on the phone, saying, I can't do it. She's like, yes, you can. And she was right. And I did it. I had the pre-inspection and I passed. So how awesome is that? So that pre-inspection that the license agency, your analyst, comes out to you, she is the one that's going to say yes or no, or fix this and then we'll think about it, or fix this and we'll come back out. My pre-inspection analyst was this friend of mine who set up the whole house with me and was so knowledgeable of everything that I passed with no problems. So here I am now, 27 years in the game, and I am open to helping you and be that pre-inspection person that you can come to, and I could get you also licensed, whatever questions you might have. So how awesome is that for friends? So what is a family child care home? So a family child care home is my house, and I'm doing business out of my home, where the analyst is going to license your entire home. But that doesn't mean that you have to use your entire home for daycare. You could use the outdoor area, the garage, the den, the living room, whatever areas you choose, but you don't have to use your entire home, is what I'm saying. So what I did, I like to have company over. So when I have company over, I don't want them to see daycare stuff all over my home. So I chose the outdoor area, I chose the garage, and I chose the den area that's connected to the kitchen, has access to the kitchen. So it's easier for me to feed the kids, wash the dishes, and clean up and all of that. So I use that area. So another thing Another area is that you can also have one bathroom and not all of the bathrooms are designated for the children. You can just have that one main bathroom. And so that's also what I did. But before you run out and start shopping and getting your flyers ready and hiring your assistant teacher and putting together your office and your website, you need to get a daycare license. You need to get a daycare license. You need to apply for a license. You will receive a pre-licensing guide package. And in the package, it'll tell you step by step what to do. And when you're ready, you'll mail that back to your local agency. Your local licensing agency will visit your home to make sure you meet all the licensing requirements. That was that pre-inspection that I was telling you about. So that's what they'll do. So let's go over that list. So first one, all adults in the home 18 years or older need to be cleared, have a background clearance from any local court, fingerprint, they'll clear you. So who are those people that are 18 years and older? Your husband, your daycare assistant, any of your children that are over 18, yes. And who else would be over there that needs it? I think that's it. But anybody that's 18 years and over, they need to definitely have a background clearance. Your home needs to be clean and neat. Now, I know that everybody is not raised the same equally, but clean is clean. And if you think that your house is not clean, have your friend come over and walk through and they'll tell you if it's clean or not, because the licensing analyst, she will definitely let you know if it's clean or not. The heaters, if you have a older home and you have a heater that is on the wall and it goes all the way down where the kids can access it and touch it, you need to get something really simple from Home Depot. It's called chicken wire. And it just folds. You can just fold it in and it stays there. Licensing will clear you if you just put chicken wire around it so the kids are not touching the heater with their hands. The chicken wire will protect them. You need to also have a fire extinguisher, a 2A. 10BC is the ones that they like for the child care providers' homes to have. And it needs to be mounted on your wall. So I hope you have a good handyman or an awesome husband. Working smoke detectors or smoke alarms. So I know there has to be one in down every major hall, and then also a smaller one in the kitchen. So if you have smoke alarms already in your home and they're at the top of your ceiling and you think they might work, but you're not for sure, you might as well go ahead and just change that out and put a new one up, because that license, that analyst is going to have a stick and she's going to check it and make it beep several times. And so don't even chance it. Do not do all this work to fail with a smoke detector that is not working. So you need to have a working telephone. In my child care, I have a landline. I pay an extra $25 for a landline for reassurance, because I have 2 cell phones and man, I tell you, they're always in the red. So if there's an emergency and you need to make a phone call, you need that landline just for safety first, right? So all poisons locked up. So let's see what poisons we could think of that's in our house that a 2-year-old would try to get to. So, wow, I could think of a lot of things. Just think about that. What about other hazardous materials? It says to keep out of reach of children. So hazardous materials. Yeah. Yeah, keep thinking about that. So let's get into the kitchen and where all those things that we're thinking about are. So in the kitchen, the new regulation is liquor. So people keep liquor in their kitchen on the cabinet or their liquor bar is close to the kitchen. So that needs to be locked up at all times. People also keep medicine in their kitchen in drawers. That needs to be locked at all times. And anything else in the kitchen that are small little pieces all around the house, those little pieces that children can swallow need to be kept out of reach of the child. Also in the kitchen, to lock up these cabinets, they're at Home Depot. You get a pack of 9 for like $12, and you just have your handyman mount those to the inside of your cabinet, and then they can lock and unlock. Adults can easily access them to open, but the children cannot. So some of the things, hazardous materials that we talk about in the kitchen, or poisonous materials, are under the kitchen sink, is what I wanted you to think about. And they are soaps under the kitchen sink, dust cleanser, stove cleanser, bleach, ammonia, whatever else you clean your cabinets with, awesome. All of those things have to be out of reach of the children. And the number one thing that the licensed provider is coming to your kitchen to look for are the knives and all the sharp objects. And those objects need to be at the very top cabinet where I can barely reach them. So it's just, I just been doing it from day one, and that's just where they are. Another thing what I chose not to do, I just chose not to worry about kids in my kitchen. I chose not to worry about what poisonings, what hazardous things are under the kitchen sink. And I just opt out not to put anything under my kitchen sink. My kitchen sink is so clean. Oh my goodness. I keep everything else inside of the laundry room on the top shelf, and all the knives at the top shelf in the kitchen. And my family does not have a problem with it. Also, another thing that you could do is you can always put a gate up to your kitchen where the little ones, they can't figure it out yet. And you just put a gate right there to keep the children out of the kitchen. And then they'll learn so quickly that they're not supposed to be in there, but they'll try it when their parents try to get inside, but they're not supposed to be in the kitchen. And that gate will help you out a lot. So also, let's talk about those hazardous materials. Let's talk about those poison things in the bathroom. So in the bathroom, new regulation, what can it be? Perfume. Kids can get to perfume under that cabinet. If you have perfume under that cabinet, if it's sprays or pure perfume, along with bleach, tub cleaner, shower cleaner, Windex, all of that stuff is under the under the bathroom sink. And you can also use those same kitchen locks inside of that bathroom and lock those cabinets up. What did I do? I chose not to keep anything under the bathroom sink except for toilet tissue. And I took everything else in the laundry room on the top shelf. Let's step outside to the garage in the outdoor area. So in the garage, hazardous, poisonous things, they don't want to see old refrigerators, old cars, old freezers, lawnmowers, gardening tools. They want all those things up and stored away. Let's see. Let's talk about firearms was on the list. So all firearms are unloaded and locked. All ammunition is separate from the firearms and also locked up in a separate area. The outdoor play area, it needs to be fenced in. And if it's not fenced in, what is the plan for supervision if it's not fenced in. So I guess what they're trying to say on this list is that if you don't have a fence, which teacher is going to supervise the children so that they don't get out of the play area? I think that's what they want. So, and also with gates. So the gates in the home, all kids, these are the inside gates that I talked about that are to block them from coming in, block the children from coming into the kitchen. These are those types of gates. So these types of gates are for children who are under 5 years old and you have stairs. So if you have stairs, they want you to block off that area so the children cannot go up the stairs. Man, let's talk about this one right here. Unbelievable that I don't think if I had a swimming pool in my home, I wouldn't do daycare out of that home because I just believe in safety first. So if you do have a swimming pool, a spa, a hot tub, you need a fence, and it needs to be 5 feet high around that pool. And it also needs to have a self-latching gate that opens away from the pool. Safety first with that pool. Toys and playing things, all of those need to be safe and clean. And also it needs to be all these toys and other playing objects, they need to be appropriate for the child's age. They also, they did not like jumpers, walkers, bouncers. It was on the list. It was just like no jumpers, no bouncers, no baby walkers. So when you see that, that has to let you know that so many things must have happened with those objects, with those types of toys, that they would have them like marked off the list, like no discussion. So also a copy of the deed to your property or a property tax sheet. If you're renting, they would like a leasing agreement too. So those are some of the things that are on the list, and I mentioned some of the new things that were also the new regulations that are also on there too. But let's just use like some common sense and let's think. So there are lots of ways to make your home safe that may not be a requirement for your licensing agency, but you can take extra steps for safety first to know what's right and what's not. But I am just looking forward to the day that you get your license. And if you have any questions that you would like to ask me, feel free to drop me a comment below and let me know where you are, and however I can help, I would love to. And I want to thank you guys for stopping by.